he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the set?
Yeah, sure. If I
Pam, could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just...
That clip was our favorite word, diabolical. Like, you are bringing this... it's like a movie. Are you seriously bringing up the sex pervert scandal of blackmail from Mossad and the CIA, which we'll watch clips of right now? But I know you saw this. You played this in the office, which we're under construction, by the way. Shout out to Hennessy for helping out with the construction here. And I was just like, I don't even want to hear this. I just started hearing it. I don't want to hear this. I can't do this right now because I got to pretend like I still have hope for this country.
Yeah, I mean, it's really disappointing to hear. I'm not surprised, though, from what we've seen from the administration. You know, they've been pretty much just not following through with anything they said, not keeping the promises. It's not promises made, not promises kept, because no information came out about Epstein. And the fact that he was trying to defend Pam Bondi as well. You know, what he tried to do is deflect. He knew the question was going to her. He jumped in and he just tries to shut us down like we're all dumb. One of the things, too, that they were talking about is how it's a 1 minute that's missing from the video, which, you know, we have questions about that as well. But I think we have footage, actually, if we could pull it up.
Are we right there?
They found the 1 minute.
Oh, good.
So,
is it the, where is it actually?
If Mike can pull up my screen.
Oh, it's on yours. Hold on, give me
Yeah, we'll have to pull it up. But I do want to say, I want to read this while some shoe on head while we're looking for the 1 minute. 1 minute of footage was missing, but she reminded us of this tweet. She goes, "You should absolutely care about an international child trafficking blackmail operation consisting of the most powerful people in the world, and anyone telling you to move on is coping, gaslighting, or in on it. Remember this shit? They hate you and think you're stupid." Remember this? This actually happened when the House Judiciary GOP, reminding you that's why it's a uniparty. It's not just the House Judiciary, it's the GOP, said breaking Epstein files released. And then it ended up being a link. This really happened to Rick Astley of Never Gonna Let You Down.
It's a Rickroll.
Yes, they Rick-rolled you. And that's why what's funny is while the Democrats, why I respect them, are getting in the ASS, in the Senate hearing rooms, that literally happened too.
Also true.
At least they're willing to film it and they stick to the classic versions of it. The way that the GOP bends us over and puts us in the ASS, it's digital. It's digital rape.
It is.
I mean, it shows how stupid they think we really are. I mean, first time they had the binders out, which had nothing really in it. They're waving around. They're doing photo ops. Then you have, you know, Pam Bondi and Kash Patel all come out and say, "Oh, well, nothing happened." And now you got Trump pushing for it. They really just think the American people are just going to be dumb and we're just going to go ahead and move on, which a lot of times here in America, we have a hard time focusing on, you know, things that really matter. You know, we get sidetracked with whatever it may be, and they're expecting this to be another scenario where that happens. But the one thing we have to do is we have to hold these people accountable. Children went through the most extreme, disgusting scenarios, and to allow people to get away with the abuse that was given at that time is something we can't stand for. And then also on top of it, not just saying the abuse, the fact that the politicians and the leaders and whoever it is, these people in office who went through and were with Epstein, which they're trying to deny, those people are bought and sold or controlled by being blackmailed. So I would like to know who the officials are, who these people are, because these people should no longer be in office because we cannot trust them. We cannot trust anything that they're going to do, because the second someone pulls out a video, the second someone tries to go against them, you know, says that they'll expose it maybe to their family or just on TV, whatever it may be, they're just going to roll over. So this is something we can't just sweep under a rug, and there's something has to be done about this. Unfortunately, the Trump administration, I think it's more just trying to protect a foreign country where it comes into. That's why you have people like Ben Shapiro coming out as well. He did the same thing with the JFK files. When the JFK files came out, he wanted to say, well, why are we still worrying about things that happen, you know?
I remember that.
Yeah.
If I was involved in something that scandalous, I would do everything in my power to make sure that the details never came out. And so I don't blame these corrupt people for working together, but that's what I was going to remind people. There's one thing that the Uniparty fights for, and It's to take advantage of children. And
Yeah.
that's really what it is.
And the sick part is the conservatives who are coming out and they're defending this. You know, there's a lot of these MAGA influencers or whatever you want to call them. They come out and they're like, why are we still talking about this? Trump is right. We should just move on. You know, other people are saying that the information was destroyed by the previous administration. And the way that they're just like bending over backwards to try to twist the narrative so this way we'll all just start to file along is really sickening, but it's also very telling of who you can actually trust and see who's actually bought and sold, who's just a part of the whole machine that's the government. And I mean, really, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, they're getting sloppy is what I've noticed because the government is truly evil. They're despicable. I mean, they said we found the Epstein files and it was a Rickroll. How disrespectful do you have to be? How little do you have to think of your constituents to make a joke about children who were raped on an island by the elite and go, ha ha ha, never going to give you up, never going to let you down? That is just lazy. At the very least, what I could have envisioned them doing is making the campaign promises. We're going to release the files. The people need to be brought to justice. Them getting in and then them going on by day, 10, week 2, going, it turns out someone in the Biden administration destroyed all of the files and evidence related to Epstein, and we're going to hunt them down. And at the very least, they could get a scapegoat or something. But the fact that they promised for over 100 days into the presidency that they were working day and night tirelessly, they had agents on the case to find what happened to these kids, to discover the truth that had been buried for 8 years or 6 years. And then out of the blue, yesterday and today, they go, well, there actually wasn't anything. And the fact that you're still hung up on it is kind of crazy. What do you care about these kids so much? We have bigger things to worry about. Like, no, this is a big deal. And the fact that you take it so lightly only serves to tell me that you are in on it.
Yeah, Sarah, I want to hear. I know Sarah's got a delay, by the way, a latency delay, so it's a little bit hard for her to cut us off. I don't mean that. I mean that genuinely. So try to also, guys, as we learn with the remote, try to throw to Sarah if you want to, because it's easier to do that. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to interrupt you guys and get my point in. But I was gonna say, I mean, it's like even if we have a video of Epstein being
Sarah, can you turn
carried
on your
out,
mic a little bit? Sorry. Do you have a mic control real
I
fast?
turn it down over here.
Okay,
too.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if we have a video of him being carried out, it's like, what does that prove? They could just be pretending he's dead in the video. They could have went in and killed him and then carried him out. That doesn't prove that he could. It's not like we have a video of him hanging himself. So really, like, any evidence they can bring up, it doesn't matter because it's just fake. And also at this point, we have technology so advanced that they even could just fake a video of him killing himself. Same with the autopsy report. That's easily fake too. What we trust, like a piece of paper, it's like, I don't know. There's really no real evidence that could prove that he killed himself.
Well, it's true.
Especially at this point.
I will say the fact that this came out and the next day he invited Netanyahu in, and we're going to show a clip here, and actually stated that he was a really good man. Let me bring this up. Is that in there? Netanyahu. So this is one of the craziest statements. Right after he tells us this, he's asked about Netanyahu, and you're like, does this have anything to do with Netanyahu being in town? Yeah, it's called the mop-up. Here's what Trump said after mocking the American people for caring about Epstein. He tells us who he cares about. And guys, this is not an anti-Trump show. I'm never going to get on this anti-Trump train. I'm pro-America, but I am anti whatever's going on right now. And I think it's much bigger than Trump. Listen to this.
Do you think that there can be a two-state solution that creates an independent?
I don't know. I'd ask Bibi that question. You have the greatest man in the world to answer that age-old question, two-state. Go ahead. You give him your honest answer.
I think Palestinians should have all the powers to govern.
Sorry, I have to cut that off because Seth Dillon and Joel Barry and all them reminded us that we can't have interviews with genocidal world leaders because we can't listen to them because it's propaganda. So we have to cut them off and not talk about them on the news. So cutting off Netanyahu there for a moment. Thank you. God forbid we ever hear from a world leader.
It's true.
So anyway, he said like one of the best men in the world, like that's, look, there's nothing wrong with Trump meeting with Netanyahu all the time. I mean, there's a war going on. They're apparently our ally. I have no issue with that. But then like giving him praises as one of the best people in the world, it does make you wonder what the hell is going on.